Now we'll bring our attention to rigging the right fingers. It's going to be the same process as the left side, but we had quite a few steps to go through, so again, I'm just going to go through this just so we can get comfortable with this. If you like, you can move on to the next lesson where we're going to set up our last objects prior to enveloping, which will be our twist bones to keep our volume in the arm and forearm. But if you'd like to follow along, feel free. I'll start by recoloring this, and then we can go ahead and use Alt-A to align that to the index finger. We'll start with that. We'll clone 2 more and realign. Okay, now I'll go ahead and take one of these, clone that over to the pinky, and align to the pinky's root, and clone 3 more from this. That's going to bring us to the thumb, so we can just select one of these, go ahead and bring that out, and Alt-A align to the thumb. Use Control-V to clone this one and align that to the next bone down. We'll use Angle Snap and Affect Object Only to match the orientation to the Z-axis. Okay, once that's done, again, Control-V to clone this, and Alt-A align that to the last bone. Alright, let's say we go ahead and rename these. It's going to be CC_R thumb C01. And copy the name, paste that to the next, and change that C to a B, and we'll rename this first control. It brings us to the index. Alright, so that's index A01. I'm going to copy that, go to the next. And finish up the renaming of the index finger. Head over to the pinky. That's going to be A, and then B, and you guessed it, C. And we'll take care of this last one. Okay, so they're renamed, they're in their position. Let's say we go ahead and work on linking now. So starting with our root controls, we'll go ahead and select all of those. Link that right to that right hand bone. As far as the others, starting with the thumb again, that's going to be brought to the A control. And then the N control goes to the bone above it. Going to the index finger again, link the control to the bone above it. And we do want to take our time here because it's really easy to kind of mix things up. Okay, great. And I'm just going to take this control and link that to its root. Alright, from here we can go ahead and set up our orientation constraints. Alright, so that's working right. Move to the next. The bone to the control. That brings us to the index finger. Alright, there was a little shift here, so what I want to do here is actually go ahead and make sure that this index is aligned in all axes to this bone so that there's no shift. We don't want any popping or anything like that. There we go. Better. That's our goal, to make sure that nothing shifts as we connect these. Okay, so we'll just go through and just test this out. It's moving fine. That's moving fine. Alright, that brings us to the pinky. Oh, let me make sure I'm doing this in the right order. Okay, great. Okay. Alright, so again, we just test this out. Once it's done, with everything moving fine, we can worry about freezing these. So again, we could start by selecting each root. Control, page down. And then from here, we could always go through and grab the others. And freeze transforms. Alright, now it's a matter of setting up our wiring. So starting with the pinky, again, we just need to worry about the Z-axis here. Select that end control, wire parameters, rotation Z goes into the bone following its Z-axis. And here, we're going to use our bottom arrow. And we always want to test this out. Alright, moving just fine. So that finishes that. Take care of the index. Again, select the control, wire parameters, rotation, not Z. Actually chose the Z there. It's not going to be the Z in this case, it's going to be the Y-axis. Alrighty. Again, bottom arrow, connect. Wire parameters, Y. And that gets plugged into the following bone's Y-axis. Of course, we can test this out. Everything's moving just fine. Alright. When this is enveloped, it's going to look really nice. We may not have to do too much work with weight painting for the fingers because of these extra bones we've set up. Alright, now when we get to the roots again, we're going to wire in all three axes. So that's X to X, Y to Y. Oh, we do that again, X to X. Max, you're not paying attention. I'm joking. I didn't mean to say that. Okay, go ahead and close that out, and then we'll go ahead and take care of the pinky here. Alright. So again, for the B object, it's going to be all three axes that we're wiring together. Just a few more. And here's just the Y-axis. So we'll connect that and take care of the last control. And then afterwards, we'll go ahead and just test everything out. Make sure that it's functioning right. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. And this looks even better. Okay. Great. So now that that's done, let's say we go ahead and work on locking our controllers, and then we can store these in their layer to call it done. And again, we just have one more task to work on before we are ready to just double check things on our rig and get right into enveloping, which is our last topic to discuss. So back to the curve editor, starting with this root. Again, we're going to lock the position tracks, skip over rotation, and lock scale. For the next controls, we're just locking the X and Y for rotation, skipping over Z, and grabbing the position tracks. Okay, so again, as we move this, only moving in one axis, even if we try to move in the others. For the root of the index, skip over rotation, grab the position and scale, and lock. Okay, that's going to be scale. And for this one, we skip over the Y, so that's going to be X and Z, and our position tracks. And of course, we do the same for the next control. All right, now we'll finish up the pinky and then store these in their layers. So for this one, again, no twisting, just the Y and Z. So we'll get rid of X, scale, and the position tracks. Move to the next one. And for this, we skip over rotation. And then to finish up, just the Y-axis for the rest. Okay, now that that's done, close out the curve editor, and let's go ahead and select all of these controls. I'll just go to the select tool, so it's a lot easier to do. And them all selected, we'll open up our layer manager and add these two control objects. Okay, great. So that finishes up our fingers. And I think you'll find this setup for the fingers to be very well, rather than using custom parameters, because you can get right in and just grab a control and start to pose out your fingers very quickly. So that finishes up our finger rig. Our last task, again, is going to be to set up our twist bones to keep that volume in the arm and the forearm. And then from there, do a little bit of double checking on our rig, see what else we can do to kind of clean it up, and then get right into enveloping the character.